3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the Picture Network Monday reaction show. This is what if you missed out on Saturday night's show, this is what you missed. The wig. I wore it. Didn't shave the beard. Went with the wig. Thought I'd give you guys just a little bit of a sample. For those of you who missed and didn't get a chance to go back and watch the video, I know it's fabulous. It looks fantastic. Okay, it's coming off. I'm getting a little too used to it. Not the wig. It happened. It just happened. Okay, I'm still riding this wave, baby. The positivity wave. Hang on a second. Let's make sure we have all of our ducks in a row here. Yep, we do. Okay, we're good. Want to make sure you guys got a whiff of that new thumbnail. Did you like that? The little pirate ship sinking next to Sam Pittman. It's the best I could come up with in like 5 minutes. I had to put that thing together pretty quick. Monday drinking hit Ty so hard he put the wig back on. Yeah, not yet. Not too much homeschooling, too much stuff going on here to be drinking during the weekdays. I should have got tore up Saturday night. I'll tell you that much. Okay. Our usual intro. Welcome. Thank you guys for stopping by, being a part of this, joining in on chat. Remember to like, comment, share the content, or comment, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Share the content on social media. That would be great. That helps out more than anything when you share the content. If even just half of you shared on social media and tagged the channel on Twitter, and myself included, it just goes so far. I did a follow train on Twitter today, and I don't do those. I'm not a guy that follows for a follow. I don't do that. And I thought, you know what, I was in a good mood today, so on Twitter, I went ahead and I did the follow for a follow. I said, you know what, we'll do it today. I was in such a great mood. It ends at midnight tonight, so if you're on Twitter and you just, for whatever reason, don't follow me there at, what is it? I changed it. Ty Hudson, at Ty Hudson HTP, I think. So we're gonna go over a few things before we get back into the Razorback game, what happened Saturday night. I woke up Sunday morning and said, that's a crazy-ass dream. I checked my phone and checked the score. No, that was a reality. Wasn't it fantastic? Wasn't Sunday morning just fantastic, right? It was so great. To the Patreon supporters, thank you guys so much. I do appreciate all of you. I really do. I mean that. If you're curious, or maybe you think, you know what, maybe I should join Ty's PTN, his PTN Patreon page. Why not? It's a minimum of $4 a month that goes towards the channel. If you don't want to do the monthly thing, if you don't want to subscribe, there's a PayPal link provided as well. I always get people to tell me, why don't you switch that to Cash App? And I'm like, because I'm not hip. Maybe I should add a Cash App. I don't know. Cash App. What's the other one? What's the other one that everyone uses? There's PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. There's that. I have a Venmo. I've never logged into it. Okay. Saturday was fun. But before we get into that, let's talk really quick. Alexis Tolfree, lady back from a year ago. I loved watching her play. That girl, when she caught on fire, she caught on fire. She signed a contract to go play professional basketball overseas with KBF Pristina. Let me pull that up. I have that here somewhere. Yeah, she's going to play with it's the club located in Pristina, Kosovo. They compete in the IP Serpoliga Basketballet Balkan International Basketball League. I'm sorry. I know I messed that all up. Also known as, its acronym, BIBL. And the FIBA Europe League. I've heard that they actually make more money overseas. I don't know if that's true or not. But good for her. They're the most successful club in Kosovo, having won 14 national championships, 14 national cups, and 6 super cups in the last 14 years. You go, girl. You go, girl. You go get that dollar bill. What else we got? Scooter Harris called up from the Packers, from the practice squad. So I guess he's made it to a 53-man roster in the NFL. Congrats to Scooter Harris, a former Wonderful linebacker. Makes you wonder how well he would have performed under this staff on the defensive side of the ball. Am I right? Am I right? When I'm right, I'm right. You know it. Him and Dre Greenlaw. Oh my gosh! Especially if they could have stayed healthy. This time, I don't think I have anything that. I think everything that I said in the post game, I'm okay with. The week before, we had to retract something because I said it was more of the same on offense. So let me start with the bad. Actually, no, I need to read your comments. I'm sorry, I've gotten off track on that. Yo, what's up, Robert Ainsworth? How you doing, my man? Azazian on absurdity. Arr, you land-loving, yellow-bellied fools. Arr. It was so nice to beat him. And what's even better is they hyped this game up with the whole join the bandwagon with him riding on a I guess a makeshift land pirate wagon. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Kind of like the Sooners, the Oklahoma Sooners scooter, whatever the hell you call those things. And of course it had the I mean, they bought into this whole thing. They had the pirate flag and everything. So ridiculous. And they trot this thing out. My guess is they were waiting to use that till after the Hog game because they assumed that they would beat Arkansas. I don't know if you've seen it. If I had time, I would have captured that for you and posted it here. But it was terrific. Way to go, Arkansas! You took the wheels off his land wagon. I love it. And look, I've been so off and on about him telling people that, yeah, I like his air raid offense. I do, because when it works, even though it like a lot of offenses, and I hate it when people are like, oh, but that offense has a cap. All offenses have a cap. There's not an offense that doesn't have a cap, right? There's always a weakness to every offense, right? I mean, Bobby Petrino, pre-motorcycle era, you could probably make the argument that offense didn't seem to have a cap. But, I mean, it did. After all, he did lose, and there were games where his offense was mangled. But I've been so back and forth on him telling you guys, and I said this after he went to Mississippi State, I would have taken him. But the way the SEC media – hell, even the media around here were making him out to be like the Bobby Petrino circa 2008, 2007 of Mississippi State football. Like, that's what they got. And I said it then and there, I would take him. I would take Leach. I would have. I'm not going to – I still would. Not over Pittman right now. That's a completely different subject. I'm really liking the direction that Arkansas is trending in. But after all, they manhandled LSU. They're going to win some games this year. They stumbled up this weekend. Mostly because of Arkansas. Absolutely mostly because of Arkansas. But also, I just thought he was overhyped at Mississippi State. Maybe he does great. And I've had Marco Polo conversations with people. I've just thought that, you know what? His reputation is no defense. He doesn't run the football. Doesn't run a balanced offense. How is that going to be successful? And I think Arkansas just completely exploited. Odom completely exploited that offense. Soft zone, rush three guys, get a little bit of consistent pressure, which Arkansas was able to do with backups, by the way. 2 starting defensive ends out in that game. You're still missing some other pieces here and there in the secondary. And they didn't shut him down, but they absolutely contained that offense, held them to 14 points. And look, that's probably not going to happen very often, even this year, even after Odom laid out the blueprints to stop. Listen to me, to stop that offense or to drastically contain it. I just never thought that he was this. To me, it's like you're getting a guy that known for great offense, but it's going to be a rough fit in the SEC. This was not their Bobby Petrino hire, right? Dan Mullins was their Bobby Petrino hire. Make no mistake about that. Dan Mullins, the amount of time that he was at Mississippi State, which was longer than I thought it would have been when they hired him, unbelievable. I mean, that is going to be hard to replace. I don't know if they'll ever get that back. That was incredible for them to hire him, and obviously Florida job opened up. We all saw it. He left. But and then fast forward another coach later, they bring in Leach, and I was excited for him. I mean, of course, being in an SEC program, you're excited for Leach. and for Mississippi State, and what he's capable of doing. His offense will work. I just don't think they're going to rack up 10, 11 wins like Mississippi State fans thought they were. Of course, they were all riding that high, and I'm not going to lie to you. After that LSU game, I thought, oh boy, maybe I was wrong. Again, still would have taken him, even after after Arkansas played him. Still would have. I mean, it's hard to turn down that exciting brand of offense. To me, it's like the best Houston Nutt years. Obviously, Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, Peyton Hillis, that era was incredible. But what were they doing? They were scoring a lot of points. Bobby Petrino scoring a lot of points. And if you think back to Houston Nutt's early days, they were scoring points. They were playing good defense. It was nice to see them win. But there's something about seeing those points, the touchdowns, the fireworks. You guys remember 2010, 2009 when Jeff Long decided to do the fireworks? I don't know how many of you went to those games in Fayetteville. It was like, I can't believe the amount of fireworks. How many fireworks do they have stockpiled back there behind the scoreboard? It was incredible. So that's what I was kind of like, oh, I'd love to see that again at Arkansas. But his offense has a severe cap, and Arkansas exploited it. But again, you can't overlook what he did at Texas Tech, and you can't overlook what he did at Washington State. They're going to win games. They're going to put up points. Okay, I don't know why I keep hitting that damn thing. My arm, my microphone stand arm here. Didn't mean to go on that tangent, but that was something I wanted to say. So going back to this game, you have an outstanding performance from, the entire defense. I think we can all agree. I think it was really hard to give individual rewards to even just Bumper Pool, Joseph Fouché. We put a poll out. I say we. It was actually me. I'm actually the one that posted that Hog Talk podcast poll. There's my fantasy football notification telling me that I'm about to go 0-4. We put that out 15 minutes before they named the SEC Player of the Week. And I, for whatever reason, I did not put Fouché. Well, I know why. Let me explain. First off, the way we used to do our polls on Twitter last year when we would do them was we tried to have 2 offensive guys and 2 defensive guys. Joseph Fouché had a hell of a game. You cannot take away the interceptions. You can't take away what this defense did. And again, it's hard to reward any individual because not only did Bumper Pool have a hell of a game with 20 tackles, what do you have, 2 pass breakups? Was it 1 or 2? He has like 4 on the year, which is incredible. All of last year, I think he had 6 or 7. He's already at like 4 or so on the year. Bumper Pool's just he's having a hell of a year already. He's leading the country in tackles. The Power 5 schools, he's leading in tackles. Of course, we're still waiting on a couple other conferences. But Grant Morgan had a hell of a game. Morgan also one of the top tacklers in the country. Grant Morgan currently at 28 total tackles behind Bumper Pool 31. Again, they lead they lead the SEC. The next guy up is Nick Bolton at 25 tackles. Errol Thompson at Mississippi State at 23. Right, but okay, 3 pass breakups for Bumper Pool on the year. Okay, I thought it was 4. So, and then you look at Fouché, what he was able to do, which was incredible, and then I thought Brooks was more deserving of that spot. I was aware, and it was almost like a coin flip between the two, and we didn't know who the defensive players of the week were at that point in time. And I just thought, look, when it comes to meaning, like what happened, what was the result of that pick 6 by Brooks? Without it, I don't know, do you go into overtime? Do you win this game without his pick 6? The offense wasn't working. Both the Fouchés, both his picks resulted in what? The next series for the offense, I believe, was 3 and out. Now, that's not on him. That's not his fault. He absolutely deserves co-defensive player of the week. I'm not trying to take that away from him. I would flip the 2. I just would. I thought Brooks was but more deserving of the co-player of the week on defense in the SEC. But again, it's like everybody played a good game on defense. And someone I know is going to – I'm not reading chat right now, but I'm sure someone here in a minute will come up and say, oh, no, you can't – those 2 picks, incredible, unbelievable, doesn't happen all the time. Well, the last time Arkansas had a pick 6 was 2016. And there's a lot of teams actually in Power 5 football. You'd be surprised that don't get pick 6s on defense. They might recover a fumble and run into the end zone, which is probably even more rare. I mean, it is more rare because typically it's going to be a defensive lineman or a linebacker that get the fumble recovery, and that is extraordinary. But it's not very often you get pick sixes, especially at Arkansas. And I thought in terms of its meaning, what it ended up doing for the Hogs, that's why we placed him instead of Fouché. Fouché ended up with, half the tackles that Brooks did. He did have a tackle for loss, but it's a 0.5. Him and I think it was Bumper Pool. Him and another player made a play in the backfield, and they both got the 0.5 marker. Same thing they do for sacks, which is still great. I mean, tackle for loss, that's a huge disruptor of an offense. But I still think that pick six, in terms of its meaning, what it did for the Razorbacks, and then on top of that, he had more tackles. I just thought, you know what? Yeah, we're going to put him there and not Fouché. 15 minutes later, Arkansas or the SEC releases Fouché as co-defensive player. Look, if they're going to know more than me or any of us at the Hog Talk, but I liked it. I liked Brooks, and I wouldn't take it back. I'd still, even with him getting co-defensive player of the week, I would still keep Brooks on that list. The other two, or the other three, you had Franks, who, what was he in this game? 20 of 28 for 212 yards. Not too bad. Devion Warren, 4 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. And then, of course, Bumper Pool. It's not even close. It wouldn't matter. Bumper Pool's leading that poll, and again, it's just not even close. Okay, got a lot here. Dylan Bray, what's up, Dylan? How you doing? Leach is a good coach. However, he refuses to make in-game adjustments. I remember that. I don't know if ESPN still does this or not, but back when he was at Texas Tech, I would go to ESPN and scroll down, and you remember, I think either like Facebook had a way where you could comment on the games in that ESPN feed, and I'd scroll down and I read every Texas Tech fan, that was their biggest complaint. The guy doesn't make halftime adjustments, doesn't like switching anything up on offense, doesn't allow his defenses to make adjustments. And I don't know how much truth there is to that. Obviously, those were games where Texas Tech was losing or not looking so good. So you might be onto something, Dylan. I don't know. So what's the Auburn game? What's the Auburn game look like if Arkansas's offense gets clicking, says the Mefurio 56. Auburn's going to be Friday. The Auburn breakdown. Oh, boy. It's going to be Friday. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting video. It's going to be a tough pick. And I think most people are probably going to be all close in terms of the score. It's going to be the biggest difference this week is going to be who everybody has. And I'm talking about like you guys, us at the Hog Talk, the media around here. Yo, Ty, what's up, TTV? Yo, boy, Judd, how you doing? Azazian says, yep, Odom showed the rest of the SEC the Pirate kryptonite, and they're all taking note. Absolutely. Odom was the best hire of the season. What about Rhodes? What about the linebacker coach? How often did you guys hear me harp on me being concerned about the talent at linebacker? Now, we always talked about Bumper Pool, how he is absolutely an all-conference caliber linebacker. We all talked about that here. But you've got Morgan showing out, and the linebackers, and just the point of attack. They're there. Wherever the ball is, and something else, and I don't know if we talked about this on the postgame show or not, I was just riding this kind of like Razorback emotional positivity wave. I was just, had a million things going on in my mind at once. I don't know if we talked about this enough. Go back and watch the check down throws. When you force Mississippi State to settle with check down throws, your defense is working. We saw that early on, and who were the guys that were there at the point of attack? Who were the guys as soon as that check down throw was made? It was either Morgan or it was Poole. Yeah, safeties would come down every once in a while too. Defensive backs would crunch down. But the linebackers have just been unbelievable. They lead the conferences that are participating right now in college football in 2020. They lead the country. They lead teams that have played more games in tackles. Now, a lot of that, too, is on the offense's fault. Too many 3-and-outs, too many broken plays, drop passes, so on and so forth. The linebackers are being – I would vote that, yeah, Odom has been a great hire, but Rhodes, we have to give credit where credit's due. Does Gus lose his job if he loses to Arkansas? Question mark. Every year he's on the hot seat, the quote-unquote hot seat. Oh, boy. Could you imagine, though? I mean, That's the game that everyone look. I want this win as badly as anybody else. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about the possibility of getting the dub here. Hog fans want this because of Chad Morris. We don't talk enough anymore about how Gus Malzahn has just used Arkansas as a leverage to gain an extension on his contract. We don't talk enough about that. The guy has absolutely royally screwed Arkansas. You have a lot of people that believe the board of trustees down in Little Rock were holding out because of Gus Malzahn. And you think about the coaches they passed on. You think about the opportunities that they've passed on just to hold out for Gus Malzahn. And there were fans, too, that were kind of excited about that, especially up here in Springdale because obviously his stomping grounds is Shiloh and Springdale High, and he's still got family, friends in this area and what have you. Think about how many times he screwed over Arkansas just to use us as leverage. It pisses me off. It makes me so angry. I want to beat Gus Malzahn and Chad Morris. I think I want to beat Gus Malzahn more than I want to beat Chad Morris. And look, Chad Morris didn't work out. I think people they take it too personal. Like Brett Bielema, all of a sudden he starts losing. All of a sudden he's fat Bielema, right? Look, it didn't work out. It didn't work out. I'm over it. Like that's sports. You know, my God, I had 2 podcasts for a while that I was doing. We're on the Hog Talk. I do these live shows. I do edited videos. I'm obviously heavily endorsed in Arkansas Razorback athletics. I just don't take it personal when a coach doesn't work out here. I get the frustration of Chad Morris. I get the frustration of him never apologizing. And I do think he owes Razorback Nation an apology. I do. I'm just not as angry about it. I'm not angry at Brett Bielema. I don't like this lawsuit and all this BS that's going on. Like that's going to take a while to settle. But I'm just not as angry about it. I am angry that Gus Malzahn used Razorback fans' emotions. I think he schooled the athletic directors here. I think he schooled the Little Rock board, the U of A board, most of which I guess are located in Little Rock. You always hear about the infamous, you know, the men in the dark hallway, you know, like the Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. I doubt they're anything like that, but you feel like he played everyone. He's used everyone's emotions. He knows that Arkansas fans, especially Northwest Arkansas, have some kind of an emotional attachment, whether that be his time as an offense coordinator here, even though that ended poorly, or his time as a head coach. That pisses me off more than Chad Morris not working out here. I know I'm supposed to be like, oh, I hate Chad. And don't get me wrong. A part of me is like, yeah, I kind of want to beat his ass on the field. I want Arkansas to beat Auburn's ass. Absolutely. And Chad Morris's ass. I want to spank that ass. Of course I do. But I'm just not like angry about it like some people are. Now, some of the memes and they're hilarious. I love it. As far as how we're going to do against Auburn, yeah, we're going to have to wait until, you know, the Friday show. And then obviously I'm going to get a video edited and put together for you. We'll talk about it then. I read your name is Warren Moon. Oh, you must be talking to someone in chat. You are, Walter Moon. Walter Moon says Auburn has a lot of talent. Arkansas has a lot of spirit. Our defense holds Auburn. It's possible Arkansas can come away with a win. I think you meant win, not man. Yeah, right now ESPN Football Power Index has them at a 10% chance to win. Would it be Ty? What's up, Thomas Nunley? How you doing, man? Our O-line finally has some pork back. D-line super impressive. I don't know about super impressive. I thought they did good. I thought they did really well. Super impressive would be like 4 or 5 sacks. That'd be super impressive for me anyways. But I'm glad you're liking what you're seeing, Thomas. Special teams has looked better last week. What do you think of the run game? Can we get it going? Thank you for that question, Thomas. I love this question. Something I wanted to touch on. Get the run game going. What is the deal with north-south running right now? Right? What is the deal with north-south or the lack of being able to run in between the tackle? Hell, to run at all. East-west, north-south. I don't know what the deal is. I think some of it is missed assignments up front. I saw Ruskin and Zach were tweeting out. They were tweeting out videos and showing stuff where linemen were missing blocks. I think that was Zach Arns that was pointing all this stuff out. And I think he's right. He was pointing out missed blocks by Myron Cunningham. I don't know what the deal is. Rakeem Boyd looks like he's going to come back this week. They're going to need all hands on deck, and it also sounds like you're going to get Coates back, but he's pushed back in the 2 deep. He's not listed as a starter. Dorian Gerald is questionable, by the way. Don't think he hits the field, but you never know. But I don't understand why the run game has struggled in between the tackles so badly. I'm impressed with what we've seen from both. Well, I mean, not Rakeem Boyd because he hasn't really had much of an opportunity, but there's just no gaps. There's no holes opening up for these backs to run through, and they've got to learn to get some push. Pass blocking, I think, has been the best that we've seen in several years, maybe since Sam Pittman was here. I mean, maybe he's sprinkling some of that Sam Pittman charm onto the offensive line as far as pass blocking. I wish he would do the same for run blocking. They have no gaps to run through. It does look like there's missed assignments. Now, I don't go back and watch all these games because I don't have time. I try to during the week, especially before I get an edited video out for you when I break down the next opponent. But I'm going to try and catch Auburn. I want to watch their last 2 games if I could ever find time. And I'm going to watch Arkansas Mississippi State again if I can. They're missing assignments. They're not physical enough up front, which is crazy to say because it is a Sam Pittman coached football team. Although the defense, physicality is through the roof, you guys. They're laying the lumber on defense. The front 7, I can't say enough about. Front 6, front 7, depending on who they're playing, can't say enough about. I cannot for the life of me figure out why you've got an elite back, in my opinion. Maybe elite is too strong of a word, but a damn good running back, an NFL potential running back in Rakeem Boyd. Why you can't get this run game going with him. He played in the first quarter of this football game, couldn't get any momentum. And that's why I said this in the live show, and I said it in the video last week, in the pre-snap video. Get your pass game going. Spread them out because they're going to stack. They're going to watch the outside edge runs, by the way, the TJ Hammond stuff. Once again, here we are. I was called out in chat for I said that was a double reverse. It was only a reverse. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't see the entirety of that play. By the time I was able to come back and catch the game, I saw him getting up. They just played the replay. I missed the replay, and they were talking about the reverse. Or the chat on Twitch was talking about the reverse. I assumed it was the double reverse. Thank you, Joshua, for the correction. Those reverse plays, period, or anything out of the backfield that you're giving to TJ Hammonds, if you're going to give it to him, why not let him try to just run him out of the pistol like you like to do? Why not give him draws up the gut? Right up the old ISO. Right up the gut. I like that they're trying to get him outside. They're trying to get the run game outside. They're trying to at least set the edge to some degree. But for the life of me, I cannot understand why this offensive line has gotten zero push. Maybe it has more to do with who they've played. I completely underestimated Mississippi State's defense. I was actually impressed with their front 7. Their secondary, they're going to give up numbers in the secondary. I don't think their secondary is very good at all. I should say not very good at all. I just don't think they're as good as some people thought they were in the secondary. But their front 7's pretty impressive. I do think Leach is going to find a way. I don't know how they're going to – I'm confused on how they're going to pick bowl games this year. But let's say 5 games is the threshold. I think they get to 5 games. I think they find a way to 5 games. We'll see. Like I said, Odom laid the blueprint for these other defenses to defend that air raid, which has a cap. Because no other offense has a cap. So, North-South's got to get better. It really does. Yo, Ty, what's good? I'm a Patreon. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Always have to catch you after you're done streaming. Glad to catch you live. Yeah, we got off to a late start. We had stuff we had to get done around the house, homeschooling. Like, guys, I am it takes a lot for me just to sit down and do these live streams some nights. I heard Bo Nix was yelling at Chad Morris during the Georgia game. Did anyone see that? There is a belief that Chad Morris doesn't even have the reins of the offense. But based on how little or how bad they have looked, whether that's their run game or their pass game, it wouldn't surprise me. Either way, I think Chad probably does, for the most part, have the reins of the offense. We know that Gus Malzahn has struggled handing that over, and then when he gives it back, or when he does hand it over, then he takes it back. He does have a reputation for that. Go to any Auburn message board, they'll tell you that. I don't know what's going on with Auburn on offense, but again, we're going to try and get into that. It's bad recruiting by Morris. If Pittman had been here for the last 3 years, the run game would be strong. Pittman needs time, says Aaron Lovell. I don't think you're wrong. I thought, honestly, they actually did a pretty decent job. I mean, Chad recruited pretty well. Offensive line could have been better. I thought you missed out on some premium talent right here in the state, but that wasn't so much Chad's fault as it was just the other schools were more appealing to those two offensive linemen. And look, that's going to happen. You know, Barry Lane Jr. was an elite recruiter in the state of Arkansas, and even he struggled keeping every highly rated top 10 player in the state. Sometimes it's going to happen. Chad, there's no doubt if there's the one strength that Chad had, it would be recruiting. That was like the one thing that he did well. On the offensive line, I agree. It could have been a little bit better. I do think he grabbed – I mean, look, Ricky Stromberg's here after all. And Ricky Stromberg is the only strength of this offensive line right now. Dylan Bray says the package to bring in KJ is a mistake. Everyone will know why he is coming in. Why? Why? I still don't understand why anyone does that. I don't understand. You know, I said this. We talked about this in before the season started. He's going to be involved, right? They're going to have a package for him, for better or for worse. They're going to have a package for him. We're going to see more of KJ Jefferson because fans want KJ Jefferson and because obviously Kendall Briles wants to utilize his size and his speed, his athleticism, which, by the way, whoever said KJ Jefferson has the legs of Darren McFadden, I wish you were in this room right now. You probably wouldn't speak up anyways. I still remember getting into an argument with someone about that. He does not have the legs of Darren McFadden. Please stop. But he is a big physical athlete. Make no mistake about that. I've been high on KJ since they got him, and I do think if he gives it time and fans are patient, he could do something special here. In this offense especially. I'm just as excited about everyone else, though. That's the crazy thing. Why you sub out Franks, who's moving the offense? Why do you do that? And then not only, like, I may not have been as upset if he had at least tried to throw the football. My wife's listening to the stream in the kitchen, and I can hear the echo, and it's, turn the phone down, Sarah. Our walls are like paper thin. I'm surprised you guys don't hear more of what's going on in the house, but the family does a good job of relocating. They're awesome. My family's pretty awesome, not going to lie. But they knew what was coming. Mississippi State knew what was coming when KJ came into the game. It's predictable. Had they thrown the ball, I may not have been upset. Of course, he fumbles the football. KJ's not doing himself any favors with fans. That's not his. Well, I mean, it is his fault. He fumbled the football, but I just don't understand why you put him in that situation, especially when the game was as tight as it was. Malik has a lot of talent too. Malik does, and Malik's faster. And I think Malik, arm talent-wise, might even be a little bit ahead of KJ. But when KJ came in as a freshman, I think Malik at that level is more talented. As far as the KJ package, don't we have a big tailback to use in that situation as well? Well, you thought you had Amonte Spivey, the transfer from Arizona State, and Rakeem Boyd. You know, you're almost better off just handing the ball. And when he fumbled, he should have handed the ball off. He should have handed the ball. I just, you put him in that situation on the road, and of course, to nobody's surprise, he fumbles the football. I just don't understand the decision. Our coach reminds me of Belichick. On to Cincinnati. Chad Morris from Coaching Arkansas. Let's see. Coaching Arkansas to bring the worst coach in Arkansas history and then lose to them with Auburn next season would be the greatest ending we could ask for. If KJ handed the ball off, I think Traylon Smith, by the way, I blanked on his name. I think Smith had a real shot at getting into the end zone. He did. Yeah, absolutely. He did. Absolutely, I agree. Malik is our Deshaun Watson. Hold on now. You got to be careful with that. I wouldn't go that far just yet. Let's see. The KJ play needs to keep the same look but change the action. It's predictable when he comes onto the field. Yeah. No, I agree with that. 110%. The offense has got to get the run game going. And in order to do that, I think they're going to have to spread you out more. They're going to have to throw the ball more. Less drop passes, less broken plays. And I think the offense could get there. They have the talent, and that's the craziest part about all this. we all assumed the strength, and myself included. I guess that the word "we" matters there, but you have more talent, or so we thought, on the offensive side of the ball, and yet here's the offense struggling. Year one, you kind of expect that, but again, who would have thought that Odom would have these guys firing on all cylinders on defense? It's really impressive. Am I the only one impressed by Smith? I mean, he did good for his first game. He carried the ball. Didn't he have a couple of carries in the first game? I swear he did. I agree. Treylon looks shifty, looks fast, hard to bring down. There was one run where he was clearly stopped. He kind of did a half spin out of the pile and turned around and picked up a couple more yards. I love that fight. There's several other running backs at Arkansas that have done that. He really, I think there's a possibility here this kid could be, maybe it is next man up with Treylon. I don't know. I want to see more out of him, but the offensive line's got to allow him to breathe. I don't know. Get KJ on a rollout, a run, pass option. I like KJ's odds against a 200-pound safety, punching it in a couple of yards. Not a cluttered line of 300-pounders. Yeah, I just think that you got to figure out a different way to utilize him. Defenses know what's coming. And make them guess, right? You could have play action, lead the back, throw over the top. I mean, it could have been just about anything there. Smith was running like a jackrabbit, all east-west and north-south. He was bouncing around, and I've been excited for him since he transferred here. We always knew he was a good little runner. Don't forget the third quarterback that will be in the mix, Lucas Coley. Yeah, Lucas Coley has looked really good in high school. He's right out of Kyle Sutherland, my Friday co-host and the Monday host of the Hog Talk, right out of his backyard in Texas where he was at. Luke Griggs says, instead of Burks passing, I'd love to see some packages with Franks and KJ both on the field. Would be fun. And people that complain about those trick plays, it's like, man, this is what they do. This is part of his arsenal. That is a part of Kendall Brow's arsenal. And Luke, I agree. I think that would be fun. I agree 110%. Luke Griggs. I hear you're a statist, Luke. Mr. T-Dub, what's up, man? How you doing? Does the SEC take us seriously now, or do we catch Auburn's sleeping? Question mark. Our D hasn't looked this good in at least 5 years. O still has some work, but headed in the right direction. Bring back the Houston Nut fun of the game, says Luke. Yeah, well, you know what this was, Mississippi State, and I'm not one that travels to other teams' boards and message boards and what have you, but I know I've had some screenshots DM to me and some friends of mine texting some of the things that they're saying, and of course it's the typical rhetoric. We beat ourselves, and Mississippi State did beat themselves, but KJ Costello's decision making and Arkansas's adjustments on defense, preparing for this week, there isn't any doubt that Arkansas's preparation dominated the day. What Arkansas was able to do with this soft zone coverage, with these linebackers firing on the whole defense firing on all cylinders, able to maintain some consistency with the pass rush, bringing only 3 guys was top notch, man. That's essentially what beat these guys. Their mistakes, you fumble the ball on a punt return, you drop that, you have the turnovers. Arkansas wins the day. I mean, and most teams are going to beat you if that's what you do on offense and special teams if you're unable to get anything going there, along with the fact that Arkansas completely shut down, well, not completely, but contained your offense like they were able to do, like the Hogs were able to do. Again, the blueprints are laid this year. Now, that doesn't mean that every team can do what Arkansas can do. Well, that's going to be the most interesting part to see the rest of the year, is how Mississippi State fares the rest of the year. Maybe Arkansas is just that good on defense. A prideful coach led to a humiliated team and fans. A humble coach has brought back the pride, says Jeff Green. Yeah, and Sam Pittman, I just can't say enough about. There's still that level of skepticism. And I'm not, he did something Chad Morris couldn't do in 2 seasons, excuse me. Something Brett Bielema didn't do his last year. He beat a ranked SEC team on the road. I don't care. I know people are going to say Mississippi State beat a bad LSU team that shouldn't have been ranked. I don't fully disagree there, but that was incredible. there's still that level of, was that a one-time fluke kind of floating around in the back of your head a little bit. But there is no doubt that those kids play for Sam Pittman. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that they don't give up. You saw the Georgia game. Georgia's pulling away. Defense is still playing their asses off. Offense is still grinding. They're still trying to do what they can to make things work on offense despite the mistakes, despite the drop balls and broken plays. That's very encouraging to see. You didn't see that in 2 years. You didn't see that the last year under Brett. And you can make that argument the year before that. So it's been 4 years since we've seen that grit and want to out of this football program. And that is a reflection of the head coach himself. If you ask, are you the same level of skeptic as you were when they hired him? Absolutely not. Look, I was skeptical when Bob Petrino got hired. I'm like a cynic. Deep down inside, I'm always like, I want to see it first. That's just who I am. I want to see it first. Pittman, a little older, he's never been a head coach in Power 5 in the SEC. I want to see it. We got a big glimpse into what could be the future at the University of Arkansas against a pretty decent Mississippi State football team on the road with those stupid-ass cowbells. And I was impressed. And I know I said this under Chad Morris the last couple of years. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe I'm just a glasses half full optimist. I don't know. There is light at the end of the tunnel. The staff that he has around him is superb. Like I said about Rhodes, linebacker coach, I think the defensive line, again, you're talking about only bringing 3 guys, and they were able to make KJ Costello uncomfortable. I think the coverage had a lot to do with that as well for the defense. But there's so much here. I mean, Arkansas looks like a legit SEC football program through 2 games of 2020. We never saw that. We haven't seen that in 3 years at least. And that's the light at the end of the tunnel. I think recruiting will pick up. I really wish they would end this stupid dead period. It is absolutely killing Arkansas's ability to recruit. I think they've got some virtual recruiting tours coming up. I don't have the names yet of those players, but again, maybe I'm just an optimist, but I do think there's light at the end of the tunnel. And with Sam Pittman, there's actual substance there. He's a ball coach. That bias or that skepticism that I had towards him about him never being a head coach went out the window Saturday night. It did. Now it's, let me see more. Get this win against Auburn. Oh, my God. Technically, sound devices are banned in the SEC. Not sure how Mississippi State gets around that rule. Me either. I don't know. If KJ gets a starting job, then Malik will transfer. If Malik gets the job, KJ will transfer. Either way, one of them will transfer. Odds are probably, yeah. Malik Hornsby will be the next Hog quarterback starter. KJ will transfer. That is the quarterbacks seem to be a lot more prone to transferring, right? I mean, they want to be on the field. They want to be out there. They want to showcase their talent. I seriously give Odom a $500,000 to $750,000 raise at the end of the season to show him he is appreciated. He will work himself into a Power 5 program if we keep trending this way. Oh, he will work himself into a legit Power 5 program. Okay. Ty, do you think our defense holds up to a strong running game? Do we have the manpower? Says Hama Kavula. Well, my concern up front is that there is a durability issue with your starting defensive ends. We haven't faced a great running attack yet. Like, we haven't faced an offense that just tears you up on the ground. Georgia's a decent running team, but not anything like what they were. Obviously, Mississippi State's air raid. You're going to find out a little bit more about yourselves, your run defense, a little bit more against Auburn. I can tell you right now, you better watch the flats. You better play some outside containment on Auburn, but they're going to try and get you north-south too. Wouldn't shock me if their offense finds a way to click this week. Would not surprise me. But we haven't faced a legitimate, great running team yet, so I don't know yet. I'm not really sure. Yo, Ty and Woo Pig Suey family. What's up, Doug Stubbs? How you doing, brother? Odom deserves the type of pay we gave Chavis. You're not wrong. After that performance, technically we are undefeated in the West, just saying. I mean, look, they're tied for second, right? Only between them and everybody else outside of Bama. Ty, I think you're wrong on Chad Morris. Strength being play calling on an offense. Ty, I think you're wrong on Chad Morris' strength being play calling on offense. I don't know. Are you talking about what I said before? Yeah, I said he's a good play caller when he was at Clemson. I thought that would be a reflection of what happened at Auburn. You know what though? Is it Steven or Stefan? I'm glad I'm wrong. There ain't no one more excited about being wrong on that than me. Chad Morris's offense is still only 25% installed. Next year, it'll only be 10% installed. Hallelujah. Luke Griggs says our defense can hold its own if we have the offense. If we have the offense, keep the ball and eat some clock. We're SEC West contenders at this point. Absolutely. Yeah, and the offense has to help the defense out more. There's no doubt. These 3-and-outs, these broken plays, these drop passes got to stop. You got to be able to at least get some consistency on the offensive side of the ball. I would love to see Rakeem Boyd. I'd love to just see this offense click, get in rhythm. We see a little bit of it. We've seen a little bit of it in both these games for at least a drive or two that they could put together, but that's not going to cut it. You guys that are out here predicting all of a sudden a bunch more wins, it ain't going to happen until you get this offense at least more than 2 consistent drives. It's not going to happen until they get more consistent on offense, and it starts, obviously you got to be well balanced, but it starts with getting Rakeem Boyd going, and obviously he's got to stay healthy. Pit Boss is sprinkling his big ugly dust on that O-line, says Azazian. Mississippi State and Arkansas were both completely exhausted by the time the fourth quarter started. Can't say enough about the secondary these last 2 games. I know Georgia's backup, their fourth string walk-on quarterback, starting to look like an All-American. So maybe what we saw the second half, giving up 200 yards or whatever through the air in 2.5 quarters, maybe now it didn't look so bad. Georgia's clicking, man. Georgia is absolutely clicking. Let's not forget Auburn can run the ball with the best of them. They've always had a great run game. Malik Hornsby is better than KJ. He's faster, has a better arm, and quicker in his progressions. Malik is the future. Look, I'm not going to argue that. I like them both. I think they both have really high ceilings. We just haven't seen we saw KJ as a true freshman, but we haven't seen him really. He hasn't been given the opportunity to show us more of what he can do, of his athleticism and his ability as a SEC quarterback. We haven't seen it yet. Too often we see things we don't want to see from a player, and we stamp him with, well, he's bad. Sometimes you got to be patient with a kid. Sometimes it takes him a couple of years to get it all put together. I don't know if Arkansas has that kind of time. We still got to wait and see what Felipe Franks does the rest of this year. Does he come back? I think with all the hype that he's getting this week, of course, he's starting to turn heads with his deep passing game. How about De'Vion Warren? Why are we not talking more about De'Vion Warren? 4 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. He is – both these games, he's found a way to get open and bail out Felipe Franks. But it just depends on what Franks does. If Franks does come back, because he will have that option to come back next year. If he does, technically, I think he has 2 more years. I think technically speaking, he could actually stay another 2 years. I doubt that's the scenario. But at that point, if someone hasn't taken over, then – we might have some problems, but right now it's obvious the staff thinks KJ is a better quarterback. But Malik Hornsby is talented. There's no doubt about that. He's a talented player. Is it too early to hope we make it to a bowl? I hate to be too optimistic. Just wondering where you are on that. I don't know how they're doing the bowl selection this year. From what I understand, they're just going to pick teams, or at least that's what I was told. They're just going to pick teams. You participated this year. You looked good in all of your games despite going 1-9. Come on to a bowl game. No, I'm kidding. That's not going to happen. We may have 2 more wins this year, says BMD number 1. True about KJ. Remember Cam's first 2 years in the NCAA. Sometimes it just takes the right quarterback coach, the right offense, the right offensive line, the playmakers around you. It takes a little bit of everything. Luck. Y'all ain't even seen Malik take a snap, and y'all are crowning him Deshaun. Be patient. Frank still has 2 years left. COVID year plus injury year. Yeah. Luke Gregg says, woo damn pig. I had to okay that, Luke. I'm not going to. We're Hog fans by default. We are unrealistically optimistic. Isn't that the truth? All right, I'm going to go eat some dinner here. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping by tonight. To the Patreon supporters, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. You know it. I don't have to tell you, but I'm going to say it anyways. You're the real rock stars here. We're going to have, give Ty some likes. Yeah, like the content. Subscribe if you haven't already. By the way, over 400, I've already said this, I'm going to say it. I'm so proud of this. 410,000 total views on the channel. Most of those have come in the last year and a half. Wow, you guys, man, I love it. I love it. We compete. Like this little channel here is competing. And I love it. Now, not with the already established guys that talk about all of college football and don't focus on a singular team. There's only me and one other guy doing that. We all know who the other guy is, and he produces premium content, Mr. Trey Biddy, Mr. Clean himself. Go watch his videos. They're great. And, of course, War Machine is an all-star in his own right. Got to love those highlight videos, man. Soon as Arkansas gets a win, you're just excited you're excited for the post-game show here, and you're also excited for War Machine's victory videos, Razorback victory videos. Okay. That's it. Thank you guys again. Woo Pig Sui. I will try my best to get you the Auburn pre-snap video, hopefully between Thursday and Friday. So keep your eyes and ears out for that. I don't know where I was going with that. Ears on the ground, eyes up. Is that what I want to say? Hawk Talk Podcast. That link is provided free down below as well if you want to check out the latest. Those guys do the Monday show was up and ready for you, so you could check out the link on that. And then the Friday show, we will probably record on Wednesday. We take questions from Discord, by the way. If you're not already in our Discord, that link is provided for you along with the Patreon, the PayPal, and the Hog Talk Podcast. All those links are provided for you down below. We'll see you guys later in the week. Woo Pig. Behave yourselves. Or don't. I'd prefer that you didn't. See ya. Woo Pig again. Oh, by the way. Well, yeah, I don't want to spoil it. We'll have some news. I'll have some news later on in the week. Look forward to sharing it with you. Woo Pig.